Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, another reason that I want the God of Likes to entrust me with 10 tons of gold. I noticed something that happened at work and also with my roommates. Something in terms of the dynamics of things. 3 years ago, I was working at a tutoring center, and I often got the shittiest hours. And I often naively did them thinking that I was building up some kind of good credit that I could use later. And so when I wanted to use it, I found that a lot of times what I thought I had saved up, my bank account was frozen. I would ask for various days off, and then it would get blown off as trivial, or people would forget that I wanted to a certain schedule, conveniently forget. And so I put up with that because I needed the work. I didn't have other options and all that. And a lot of times I was upset. You guys may remember I complained bitterly that my colleagues didn't remember my anniversary. I complained bitterly that my colleagues thought it was no big deal. I wanted to take a day off after the lunar eclipse, and they thought it was no big deal for me to come in exhausted, and my colleagues would take off to go see Taylor Swift or whatever it was, right? You guys may remember that. Well, last week I took a day off so that I could go see a girl that I met online in Houston, and that went pretty well. And what was the big difference here? The big difference is that I am in a better position of not needing to score all those brownie points with my colleagues. I was living in a room for rent just like this a year and a half ago in downtown Phoenix, and I ran into some drama. The owner of that home hired, I think it was a extended family member to manage that place. And the extended family member had this weird setup. He lived in a room that was adjacent to the kitchen with only a curtain separating it. And then he would complain that at 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock, I was eating dinner or I was flushing the toilet with the bathroom door closed. And he would complain about all that noise. He says that we need to keep quiet. There's so many people in the room. Yeah, nobody else complained. And he took that assignment with the understanding that he would have a room just like that, right? And I personally think if you're going to take an assignment like that, I think you kind of forfeit the right to complain about something like that. Normal noises, like gently walking, doing the dishes, flushing the toilet with the bathroom door closed. I think you kind of forfeit the right to complain about that if you're going to take that assignment. But at the time, it weighed very heavily every time he made noise about it. It shouldn't have, but it really did. And contrast that to today. I live with, well, me and the owner know each other from a mutual friend. It's kind of funny how the owner of this place and I met. What had happened was a friend of mine from church had set me up on a blind date. And we didn't get the sparks flying or anything, but I made a close friend. And then she knows another friend who knows this owner. And so I had lost my home because of another kind of weird, wacky situation. But we have another roommate who's a borderline alcoholic. And for some reason that I cannot understand, the alcoholic, he doesn't want to stay in his bedroom. He prefers to sleep in the living area. And then at 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, it's not even really late, he complains that I'm singing Peter Dislike while eating dinner. You know, it's become a prayer for me, a prayer jingle. And he goes, stop it, stop it. He's too drunk to even get up to complain about it. He moans, stop it, stop it. And I just laugh it off. Stop what? And why the stark contrast between then and now? Because I'm not nearly as vulnerable right now, right? I mean, sure, it'd be a pain if I have to get out, but I have options that I didn't have a year and a half ago. Now, these two experiences taught me that life often, right or wrong, is trumped more by who has more resources and who has more options open. right? You can be right and not have options and you have to concede, or vice versa, right? You could be wrong, but you have a lot of options. So what, right? So that's another reason that I'm praying for God likes to entrust me with 10 tons of gold when I wake up tomorrow morning. This is the Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum.